Hello, sexual. Whether you're homo, bromo, hetero, or nomo, chances are you watch television. And if you're watching this, you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? Or you like professional wrestling just as much as I do. Did you know that the only other thing that I consume as much as pro wrestling is the art of drag, darling? Now I know what you're thinking. CRESTA, why is your voice raspy? And CRESTA, and to that I say, shut your mouth while I conduct this wrestvestigation. By the end of this video, you'll be saying, is she gonna Tempe Suicida from there? And boots the house down, Mamma Mia! Seamlessly in no time. On this episode of Wrestvestigations, we wrestvestigate why drag and wrestling are the same thing at the opposite ends of the rainbow. Wrestvestigate, wrestvestigate. Wrestvestigations for you. Wrestvestigate, wrestvestigate, wrestvestigations. Now, before we get started with these videos, as a heteroach myself, I would like to say a few things, if you will. Number one, being straight and watching drag in any form doesn't make you gay. And conversely, watching wrestling doesn't make you straight. It's a very easy concept. That being said, if you are attempting a transphobia, a homophobia, a bigotry, or any other stupidity, I will delete your comments. Because why? It's my channel, and I'm the king, and you can't make me read that. I'm not gonna let people read that. Are you dumb? I know how the internet works. You can't make me read that. You can't make other people read that. So if you know, now you know, and if you didn't know, now you do know for sure, pal. Okay? So I'll delete the comments. Fight with God about that. Fight your mama about that. First stop, we're taking our happy black asses all the way out to Brooklyn. Now, as someone from the Bronx, I hate this place. Legally required to hate this place. The juxtaposition of niceness and straight up dirt. Nice and straight up dirt exemplifies Brooklyn.
I made my way
to a matter of pride, glam slam drag queen wrestling. And I was greeted not by Miss Rose at the door, but from many people from different walks of life, celebrating, setting up the ring, finding camaraderie, and showing off their coolest threads. Now, throughout this portion, you might hear me call it glam slam or drag queen wrestling, but this is actually called a matter of pride glam slam drag queen wrestling. I mix it up because besides being a heteroach, I'm fucking stupid. CRESTA STARR here, deep undercover for your journalism entertainment. I'm unfortunately in Brooklyn. As someone who's native to the Bronx, I'm legally required to hate this place. We are here at Drag Glam Slam for drag queens and wrestling intersect. I'm here to have a great time and show to you why exactly wrestling and drag are the same thing. I'm very committed. Look at the dangerous conditions Brooklyn is in. No, that's plastic. Here's the glass. I could hear the Boy Diva from outside, who is a promoter for a matter of pride, getting ready to start the show. And when I tell you a time was had, we had Gay Mysterio. We had Hatsune Miku. We had everything you could have wanted in a wrestling show. Because first and foremost, this was a wrestling show. We had people locking up. We had people doing arm drags. To be honest with you, I was completely sports entertained. Get your Bronco Busters here. Bronco Busters. Both performers fought valiantly. But in the end, you know, betrayal. You can't trust these wrestlers, man. You can't trust them. For a drag queen wrestling show, there was a lot more wrestling and a lot more regular WWE, AEW like drag. If this is what it was giving, is wrestling itself just drag? Is AEW, WWE, our tribal chief, Mr. Jonathan Moxley? Is he just these men here throwing balls at each other? The show was coming to an end, so I knew that this was the perfect time to catch up backstage with some of the performers and ask my pressing Wrestvestigation questions. My name is CRESTA STARR, and I'm here with the beautiful Miss Paulina, who just won her match this afternoon. She's agreed to speak to us here exclusively on Wrestvestigations. I want to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, of course.
What does drag and wrestling have in common?
Drag and wrestling have in common performance. To make anyone happy, to bring life to people's audience, to bring life into everyone that comes. That's what wrestling and drag have in common.
Yes. Do you think that professional wrestlers are theater kids who just got swole?
Oh, I do not think that whatsoever. I think someone who once has the passion. That's something that there's passion behind wrestling. And if theater kids we open up arms for any retired theater kid. Speaking of a retired theater kid myself, so.
And let me ask you one last question.
Of course.
What do you think the biggest takeaway from someone who may not watch wrestling or drag can get from this Glam Slam experience?
Pure joy. That's all you could say. You open up arms to this. It is just pure joy. So if you have love in your heart, and you love when people are happy around and entertaining, because the world is all about entertainment and happiness, this is where they can get it from.
In the spirit of pro wrestling, please put yourself over to the audience so they can know where to find you in your social media.
You can find me at Paulina28 Cataldo for my Instagram, or my TikTok is Little Paulie C.
CRESTA STARR here with Summer Brady, aka the non-binary ninja, doing Wrestvestigation so graciously. She gave me an interview, and I want to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
First off being, what does drag and wrestling have in common?
You know what? To me, they're basically the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard a lot of people say that pro wrestling is basically like straight man drag.
Yes.
But guess what? In my opinion, pro wrestling, it's not just for straight people, clearly,
yes.
Right? The great thing about drag, the great thing about pro wrestling, it allows people with passions to basically become someone else or who they are deep inside.
Exactly.
Right? They come up with the image, the look, the character, the persona. And what I love about it is when people do that and they're having fun, to have like people show up and feed into their character, who they've created.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
Summer, I've asked already, but I'm going to ask you again. Do you think that professional wrestlers are just theater kids who got swole?
You know what? I do think that is the case, right? Either theater kids who got swole, or how should I put this? I think some people that maybe were like a secret scholar athlete, maybe they hid their nerdy passions, and then they finally got to a point in life where they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna live life for myself. But yeah,
I love that. Let me ask you one final question. What is the biggest takeaway from wrestling and drag that someone who watches neither, especially coming to Glam Slam, can learn from this experience?
You know what? I think when it comes to both drag and wrestling, especially there was a point in time when I was younger, I tried drag out. I was not too good at it. But what I do remember, part of what scared me away from it was like certain people not from the scene, maybe being bullies or laughing. And what I love about all this, it's a lot of people who I think maybe were bullied when they were younger or were forced to hide the things they were into, and they've gotten to a point where they're just like, I know what I like, I know what I want to do, and I'm going to go out and do it. And then this is the best part. I think some of those people that maybe would have bullied a lot of us for being into this stuff when we were younger, they're now the fans, right?
Yes, right?
They're joining in, right? And I think it's just an awesome place for unique artists and characters to just have a good time, let loose, and be creative.
Yes. Non-binary ninja, I appreciate you so much for this interview.
Yes.
I want you to put yourself over. You said you have a fight coming up in Coney Island.
Yes.
Let the viewers know where they can find you, where they can watch it.
Okay, so I'm actually a combat sport athlete. I'm non-binary. I fight men and I fight other trans athletes, and coming up actually on Juneteenth.
Yes.
In Coney Island at the Cyclone Stadium field, they're putting a big steel cage in the middle, and I'm going to be fighting for the world's first ever trans title belt for mixed martial arts against an opponent that we have fought twice before in kickboxing. We both won one fight.
Okay.
So this is the big trilogy. The brand is Critical Combat, and I just think it's really cool. Much like this, the fact that a lot of people used to laugh at me.
Yes.
I'd be like, yo, one day people are going to be buying tickets to watch trans people fight. Guess what? It's happening, right? And so...
Who's laughing now, right?
Who's laughing now, right? I'm laughing my way to the bank.
CRESTA STARR here with the Pamela. After she won her match this evening, she agreed to give us an exclusive interview here with us at Wrestvestigations. Miss Pamela, let me ask you a question really quickly. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I love to lie. It's wrestling. First, what does wrestling and drag have in common?
I think that it's an escape from your real life. I think you get to be who you feel like on the inside. I feel like you get to be everything you want. And I think that we're all sexy, hot bitches with badass attitudes. And I think that we all show it.
Yes. I love that confidence. I've had a controversial question this afternoon I'm going to ask you as well. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Wrestlers are theater kids who got swole.
That... I'm gonna say this because I feel like there's a lot of swole theater kids, but swole theater that goes to the movies is different because they're skinny because the camera adds 10 pounds. So yes, I do agree because when you wrestle, you got to be able to throw people over your head. So yes, but I know what y'all do at the movies, and I know y'all are skinny and not really buff on camera, and we all see it. Ooh.
We love for a journalistic deep dive.
You
Dive
know?
from the sauce.
Glenn Powell, you're not safe.
Let me ask you this one last question. If this was someone's first time here experiencing drag and wrestling at a matter of pride, what do you think the biggest takeaway you can give to someone who's the first time experiencing all of this?
I think what a matter of pride has and what it's always had, because it is the OG. Like I'm here, this is 2026, first show, 2016. I was on that show. We're OGs here. I think that it's gritty, it's authentic. The Boy Diva, this is his livelihood. This is what he does. And a matter of pride, this is made for us, for y'all. And it is authentic, it's real, it's gritty. And you're going to get the sexiest, hottest bitches you've ever seen. You're going to get performances of every type that you can get. You're going to get the most beautiful burlesque, the sexiest drag, and then you're going to get the hottest wrestlers. But on top of that, we don't do it cute here. There's no sugarcoating with us. We punch each other, and it hurts. I leave with black and blue. I got one on my boobie right now. This shirt's covering it, but I got a big-ass black and blue on my boobie. We don't play, and that's the difference, because we're here to stay.
Thank you so much for the interview. I would love for you to put yourself over to our viewers. Where can they find you on social media, and where are you wrestling next?
Don't ever find me. I hate you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You can find me. All of my handles are at ItsPamelaWTF. It's Pamela, what the fuck? And my next show is on July 3rd in Los Angeles. So come and see me.
CRESTA STARR here on the scene at Glam Slam, a matter of pride with the promoter, the Boy Diva.
Thank
you so much. Thank you for doing this interview with me. For this month's Wrestvestigation, we are doing why drag and wrestling are the same thing.
Pretty much.
So let me ask you, why is wrestling and drag the same thing?
Because at its heart, it's gay as fuck. Pro wrestling started in the circus tents with burlesque performers, strippers, the bearded ladies, the jugglers, the tightrope walkers. It's always been flamboyant. And if you want to do your homework going back to the Greco-Roman days, it was two hot, muscular men, Adonises rolling around. So pro wrestling, and the first TV star was Gorgeous George.
True.
So it's always been flamboyant, and you know, if you read in between the lines, very homoerotically sexual.
Let me ask you a controversial question that so far
Absolutely.
I got one and one answer, so I want to hear yours. Do you agree with this statement? Wrestlers are theater kids who got swole.
Who got swole. Yes, a lot of them are. But then wrestlers are also your single mother who hates her sister-in-law who's taking care of her kids. Wrestlers are also a lot of closet cases who want to take out their aggression. Wrestlers are also queers who have no other platform to tell their story. You know, wrestling is for everybody. I hate to sound corny and say it, but it is. And when you have a variety show such as A Matter of Pride and what we do, today was Glam Slam, Backyard Wrestling. We have produced so many shows, but at the end of the day, it's a matter of pride, and pride is always in our hearts. LGBTQ people, we're doing this for you. Queer stories for queer audiences.
All right, and last question. If somebody's never seen wrestling or drag, and this was their first experience at A Matter of Pride, what is the biggest takeaway that they can get from this experience?
The biggest takeaway for a first timer who's never really seen drag, who's never seen wrestling, if they came to A Matter of Pride show, they would see, wow, this blew my mind because I did not expect these drag queens to do what they did, to be professionally trained, to tell a story, and that's the biggest thing. Just like when you go to a movie, just like when you go to a Broadway play, wow, this is a story. Here are good guys, good girls, bad girls, good days, bad days. At the end of the day, who can relate to this? Not only queers, and yes, it is for queers by queers, but you know what? A Middle Eastern mother could watch this and be like, wow, something's resonating to me. A person who doesn't know any English in Japan can watch that and feel the fire come out of a competitor's eyes. This is, at the end of the day, drag wrestling is storytelling 101. Just like the Bible, just like the Quran, and just like all of the Greek myths and mythologies.
I live. Please put yourself over for our viewers. Where can they find you? Where can they donate? Where can they support you?
Thank you for joining me. Thank you for having me. I am the Boy Diva, Rebbeca, the original queer wrestler out and openly since 2004. A Matter of Pride has been going on 10 years strong since 2006. We're coming to a city near you. You can find me at Instagram, X, and TikTok at the Boy Diva. And don't forget to follow the first and only true authentic queer wrestling promotion, true first authentic drag queen wrestling promotion on Instagram at A Matter of Pride. And always remember, I'm gonna blow you. I am gonna blow you away.
Later on that night, I treated myself to Tasselmania, yet another wrestling and drag, dare I even say burlesque experience. A Matter of Pride left me feeling with, well, a matter of pride, joy, and happiness. But I wanted to see how far and how extreme we could take this wrestling and drag experience. Even though I got there late, I got there just in time for their hardcore match. Yes, a hardcore match. What I thought was going to happen was not what was going to happen. It was scary. It was spooky. It was ooky. The girls were doing stunts and tricks, doing death-defying things, and honestly, I lived. What I liked the most about Tasselmania in comparison to Matter of Pride, disgusting! Look at this shit, I forgot this was in it, disgusting! My bad, you better go ahead, Burlesque McFoley. Anyway, look at her. She said, I'm not putting no damn sword down my mouth. How I look, that's scary, spooky. We love a good hardcore match with shenanigans, because if you shenan once, you're gonna what? Shenanigan. Look at this, more shenanigans. Jesus Christ! I was sports entertained. Dare I say, even sports aroused. There were a couple of baddies in the audience. So after the show, I wanted to get their 2 cents about this experience. This is the beautiful, illustrious Sugar, giving us her 2 cents that make $1 for Wrestvestigation. Sugar, let me ask you, what do wrestling and drag have in common?
I think them wearing almost like bathing suits and being naked, that's what they have in common.
We have the beautiful darling Lauren. Get the shoes, Jocelyn. Get the shoes. Let me ask you, what does wrestling and drag have in common?
It's all about creating the character and the fantasy for me, right? So you're drawing people in with this alter ego, and you're having people follow the story and the lore. And to me, it's the same. I mean, I'm watching the same shit. I love the drama of it. Yeah.
We have the beautiful, illustrious Rebbeca with this beautiful top. Get into the top, girls. Get into the top. Rebbeca, let me ask you, what does wrestling and drag have in common?
I would say showmanship
and rehearsal.
We've got the illustrious dancer Queen here from Queens. No, she's not. She's from Brooklyn. Don't get it twisted. Queen, let me ask you, what does wrestling and drag have in common? And speak up for the camera, baby.
Wrestling and drag, to me, what they have in common is the fact that they have the talent, they have the showmanship. They show their talent with what they put together, also the way that they perform. And I love the craftsmanship that goes behind every single one of their outfits.
No matter the event, no matter the theme, one thing was clear. Sports camaraderie and sports entertainment is at the center of wrestling and drag. What started off as a lighthearted wrestvestigation quickly became a rest inspiration sensation. Every single person who I interviewed, you could see the joy and the fulfillment that wrestling and drag brought them. And the concept of drag in wrestling isn't foreign, binary, or heteronormative at all. In fact, they exist in harmony. Some would even say, wrestle harmony. Go to your local independent wrestling show. Go to your local drag show. There are plenty of things that exist in the in-between outside of things like WWE or RuPaul's Drag Race. There are wrestling drag shows, wrestling burlesque. Hell, there's even wrestling musicals. You know who really wins there? Us, the audience, being sports entertained. I have no punchline this time, only feeling the love and joy that wrestling brings to everybody in the art of drag. My name is CRESTA Marcan Starscard, and this has been Wrestvestigations. Hello and good night.